control the center of the ring.
Yeah.
If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
What? Canelo's too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting. If it's played wrong by either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has reportedly made a surprise visit to Terence Crawford's training camp, creating major buzz just weeks before Crawford's huge fight against Canelo.
His size may be his best going factor, but if he goes out and boxes Bud, he's not going to beat Bud boxing. He's not. So if Bud can take his punch, he's not going to outbox Bud. So it's like, it'll be, what would determine the fight would be who wants it most and who has the best fight plan. Because to me, I don't care what they say, if Bud can get Canelo to box him, Bud will outbox him.
So it's still a fight that you feel is competitive enough despite what happened in the Madrimov fight?
Without a question, it's competitive enough. Well, what he showed you in the Madrimov fight is that he can take the punch at 154. So now, can he take it at 68? It's yet to be seen.
Sources say Jones didn't just come to say hello, he came with a mission. He gave Crawford a clear strategy on how to beat the Mexican superstar. As Crawford moves up in weight to face one of the most feared fighters in the world, Jones's advice came at the perfect time. From taking advantage of Canelo's slow footwork to mastering distance with smart movement, Jones reportedly laid out a plan for Crawford to shock the world.
I'll be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain, loves to give us the big fights.
Yeah.
Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Yeah. Not gonna always win them, but he always try to give them to us. Yeah. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much.
Terence Crawford will fight Canelo on September 13, 2025 in Las Vegas. He's moving up to weight classes to challenge for the undisputed super middleweight title. The WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO ring, and IBO belts are all on the line with the fight. Airing live on Netflix, Crawford has already beaten top fighters like Errol Spence Jr. and Israel Madrimov. Now, he wants to become the first man in history to become undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Canelo, who has already dominated at 168 pounds against fighters like Saunders and Plant, brings power and experience. With the Saudi-backed Riyadh season and UFC's Dana White promoting the event, many are calling.
Previous years, you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madrimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stone. It's about now.
Roy Jones Jr. says the winner of this fight will just come down to weight. It'll depend on how Canelo fights. In February, Jones told the ring that if Canelo fights smart, he'll win. But if he makes mistakes, Crawford will take over. He said Crawford's key to winning is owning the center of the ring. In June, he added that Crawford's biggest test will be handling Canelo's power, not the weight difference. While Jones slightly favors Canelo early, he admits that if Crawford survives the
Canelo, because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Connor's never been there.
Yeah. Okay. Another fight I did want to ask you about in terms of weight classes. Canelo Alvarez potentially fighting Terence Crawford in September. That's obviously a massive weight discrepancy. What do you think of that fight and then the weight discrepancy between it?
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. Yeah. Canelo comes out there what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. Yeah. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
Yeah. Well, with Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring.
Yeah.
If Crawford is allowed to control the center.
Jones Jr. compared the fight to a high-level chess match, not a slugfest. He said it's about strategy, not just power. He pointed to Crawford's last fight with Israel Madrimov, calling it a boring chess match, but also proof of Crawford's ability to outthink his opponents. Jones warned Crawford not to run too much, saying, "If you run from a big guy, you give him all the confidence. That's stupid." To Jones, this is a mental battle just as much as a physical one about timing, control.
You beat the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Terence is not taking a fight in between. He's like, I'm going to move up to 168. I'm going to take my time with that. Should we expect an upset, or are we going to see what most people are expecting in that fight if it does happen?
Well, we're not going to see what most people are expecting. That's for sure. I can guarantee you that, because most people are looking at the weights and saying, oh, they're too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very...
Jones Jr. said that if Terence Crawford manages to knock out Canelo, it could be the perfect moment to retire. He mentioned that Crawford could then aim for one last mega fight against David Benavidez or decide that he's done enough. Jones said if he beats him, maybe he fights Benavidez. If not, he says, okay, I tried, I'm done. It's a big compliment from a legend like Jones. If Crawford beats
either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Let's say if Canelo wins, do you think people give Canelo credit because Bud is smaller? And if Bud wins, should he just retire and go on the sunset?
Bud definitely should retire if he wins. Canelo, no, you have unfinished business, bro. You can try to hide, you can try to run, but that monster thing, it ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Even if you retire the rest of your career, the monster thing is not going anywhere because the monster was searching for you. He beat everything y'all sent at him in the process of trying to get to you. I don't care who you beat. The monster thing is going to always follow him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was a time when he was saying, Benavidez was saying, you know what, I got to earn that Canelo shot. He earned that shot long time ago.
Jones Jr. believes Crawford deserves to be ranked among the top 10 fighters in boxing history. And in terms of pure skill, he places him in the top 5. After Crawford's dominant win over Errol Spence Jr., Jones said that while Crawford may not have faced as many famous names, his skill, ring IQ, and ability to adapt are world-class. Jones even criticized those who ranked Naoya Inoue over Crawford, saying the news win over Donaire was not as impressive. In short, Jones sees Crawford as one of the best to ever do it.
Probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely had the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. Yeah. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud, no.
Jones Jr. also shared his thoughts on who Crawford should fight next. He said a matchup with Jaron Boots Ennis would be close because Ennis has everything, but Crawford's experience gives him the early edge when it comes to fighting. Canelo However, Jones was more careful. He said Crawford must make Canelo feel his presence from round 1, stay aggressive, and avoid backing off. According to Jones, both fights are massive, but beating Canelo will require both mental and physical.
Hey, you know, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, you know, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What he got to prove to Boot? Boot trying to take over, start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight better beat this nigga. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
Jaron Ennis has warned Crawford about fighting Canelo, saying the Mexican star might be too big for him. Meanwhile, a well-known boxing analyst compared Crawford's chance to shock the world to one of Roy Jones Jr.'s most legendary knockouts, his brutal finish of Glenn Johnson. The comparison shows how fans are hoping Crawford can deliver a moment that will be remembered forever. Crawford has often called Jones his favorite fighter.
To win the fight, it has everything to do with Bud Crawford. I just want to see the moment that Bud Crawford is looking up at a giant and ready to chop that damn tree down. I've seen it before. I saw Roy Jones versus Hall. Rich Hall. He was... And then whipped his ass. I just want that moment. Bud Crawford just... And then Fundora trying to be... And Bud just... like the Matrix. Boom, 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 boom. Bam! I mean, I would just love it. Now, if him do win, of course, I want the better fighter to fight Bud Crawford.
No, styles make fights. No, it's your destiny. It's your legacy to become 3-time undisputed, and in 40 different weight classes, especially, and your 5th weight class as well. Yeah, you join in that club as well. Definitely. So you join us in clubs. Before we finish, you know how much I love the history of the old fighters. Like, look, I know I've already heard it before, but for the viewers, like looking up to early in your career, like the couple of the fighters that you really liked was Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather, correct? Yeah, very nice Floyd. Yeah, I mean, you can't get much better than them two. Nah, not at all. What was about? Tell me about each one. So starting with Roy, what was it that really